Are you constantly walking around on eggshells all the time? Do you feel like you're not able to get through to your partner or husband, and you just don't feel like you're getting the love and the attention that you deserve, and it feels like your love tank is just truly empty and has been empty for a long period of time? I totally understand how you're feeling. You're not alone. There are so many women out there who go through what you're going through. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you 4 secret feminine traits that men find wildly attractive. And once you gain an understanding of these traits, you can really use them to be able to create the shifts that you're looking for in your relationship or marriage. Now, there's one really important component to the success of a relationship, and that is ensuring that you understand the difference between how men and women operate. And that is to say, the difference between the masculine and feminine energies. Just like for electricity to function, you need a positive and negative charge. Well, in a relationship, you need to have the balance of the masculine and the feminine. If you don't have that balance, then what happens is relationships slowly, what we call depolarize. When they depolarize, there's no chemistry, the passion's lost, and then one or both parties start to think about leaving or going and being with someone else or whatever it is. And you don't even want to let the relationship get to that point. You've got to understand these traits, and once you do, they can have a hugely powerful impact on the quality of your relationship. Now, the first trait that men find wildly attractive is what I call the timely muse. What I've always found in relationships, whether it be in my own personal marriage or with clients who have had extremely successful marriages, they always have a sense of timing when it comes to the communication piece. See, a lot of the time, most people are worried about what to say and whether it's going to offend them, and should they say it in this way or should they wait till this moment, and so on. And that creates a huge amount of problem because there's no sense of intuition, there's no sense of timing when it comes to the things that they want to say. Successful relationships always have a sense of timing. They know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, provided that their intent is pure, provided that they're coming from a place of love, provided that they understand their partner at a deep level. They know when to back off, they know when to step in, they know when to be firm, they know when to be soft and loving, compassionate and empathetic, and so on. They have a sense of timing. And that's because they know themselves. They're confident within themselves. They're not empty on the inside. See, a lot of the time in relationships, people are so afraid to say what they want to say because they're so empty on the inside and they're so fearful about losing the other person or potentially causing that other person to leave that they stay quiet. And they end up coming from a desperate place. And then they communicate in ways that actually push away the other person rather than pull them towards them. And then that ends up being extremely powerful for a man, because without even saying the things that he needs, that person has anticipated those needs. And once you start to learn how to anticipate the needs of your husband or partner, it can have a huge impact. So for you, you really want to be making sure that you're trusting in that, because what that does is it elevates your worth. When you know that you are enough just as you are, then you're going to feel much more confident in saying the things that you need to say, and that can directly have a positive impact on him. And I'm telling you now that on the proviso that you're with a good man, he's going to pick up on some of those things, and he's going to actually be hugely drawn to that kind of behavior. Secondly, the playful enigma. Think about a person that you know who can just turn the dullest of moments into something just fun and light and playful and so on. That's the magic of this particular trait. See, guys in general love a light energy. They don't want to be around an individual who drags them down, who makes them feel flat and feels down and negative and all that sort of stuff all the time. They want to be having fun, they want to feel excited, they want to enjoy that kind of energy. And once again, in really successful relationships that I've seen, when there's more playfulness, when there's more fun, when there's more jokes and laughter and so on, that then helps the bond to get even stronger. Because in order for a successful relationship to occur, you've got to be having 12 to 15 times more positive interactions than negative. Most relationships that I see are probably 2 to 1, to be fair. There's not many that are actually functioning in a really, really beautiful way where there's lots of fun and joy and people can have deep conversations and then have lovely intimate moments and all of that stuff. It ends up being constant problems all the time. But if you can incorporate a playful time, fun-loving times. Bring out the inner child in you. Bring out that playful kid inside of you, because the more you do that, he's going to enjoy that and he's going to have fun with it. And even when he's going through some tough times, it's going to break his pattern of thinking. Now, this kind of ties into the point number one, where, connecting in with your own intuition, knowing the timing of these things. If he's in a really, really dark place at that moment in time, that might be the right time to just bring a little bit of silly humor into it, a little bit of playful banter, and it might break him out of that particular pattern. But there might be other moments where he's really focused on his work and he needs to put all his energy into that, and then you might come in there and try and be fun and playful, and it might not be the right time. So timing is key, and I know this might sound a little bit complicated, but relationships can sometimes be a little bit complex. But the key, I always say, is if you build the relationship with yourself, if you can learn to trust in your own intuition more, then the timing is going to be natural. You're going to trust in your own instincts and do the things that you need to do. And even if you think about, famous sports people, the people that I've listened to, they've always said that they've tried to get into a calm space so that their instincts take over. And when their instincts take over, their intuition takes over, and that leads them to do the things and take the actions that they need to in order to succeed. Same thing applies in relationships. If you can learn to stay in a more calm way, that can bring out that loving, playful, fun side, and you can use that to your advantage and to the advantage of both of you. And like I say, when people are around that kind of energy of fun and playfulness, you want to spend more time with them. It's like they've got a little bit of magic dust, and you want a little bit of that sprinkled onto you as well, so that you can really have some enjoyable times together. So bring that out more. Bring more of that playful side of you. I know you have it. We all have it. We've just suppressed it a lot of the time. Bring it out. It's going to make a huge difference in your relationship. Thirdly, the veil of authenticity. A few years ago, I remember running a survey to about 127 men, and it was fascinating, the results that came through, and I'll explain those in a second. But one of the things that's really important here is the idea of authenticity. Men gravitate towards women who are being themselves, who are just being free, who are being open, who are connecting in with their deepest parts of themselves and are speaking their truth, not putting on some facade, not trying to be fake just to, keep up with the Joneses or any of that sort of stuff. It's just allowing them to be the best version of themselves. Men gravitate towards that because, once again, it exudes a level of confidence and a feeling of just being self-assured. In this survey, one of the biggest challenges that a lot of men talked about was how they felt that their partner was constantly needing them all the time for everything. And they had no sense of independence. They had no sense of, being able to just do things on their own or make their own decisions. It was like they needed their partner. Now, there's a difference between being needed and neediness. Men want to feel needed. They want their partner to know that, they need them and that the husband is going to deliver for them, or the partner is going to deliver for them. But neediness is, I don't trust you that you can deliver, so I need to be on your case all the time. Where are you? What are you doing? When are you going to do this for me? When are we going to go on that holiday? Whatever it is. And constantly badgering them all the time then makes a man feel like, well, you just don't have any faith in me. So I don't feel that level of connection, and you're getting a little bit annoying. You're getting very frustrating. Guys want authenticity. They want that confidence as well. They are attracted to women who are authentic, who are really, really connected with who they are and are able to express it without feeling uncomfortable or uneasy about any of that stuff. So once again, step into your own authenticity. And the final trait is the goddess within. Remember earlier when I talked a little bit about how in order to create a successful relationship where there's chemistry and passion, you need the balance of masculine and feminine energies. Well, part of this is about you learning to really connect in with your own femininity. You see, what happens in relationships is that when two people get together, there is the balance of masculine and feminine energies. And generally speaking, in my work, you find the men who are predominantly masculine in nature, and then you'll find the women who are predominantly feminine. But what happens over time is that when all these stresses and stuff come into the play, you start to have kids, you have other challenges within the relationship, whatever they may be, people resort to the opposite energy under stress. So men often resort to their feminine energy, so they become more submissive, they become a little bit more quiet and passive, and the feminine woman end up becoming more masculine, so they become more controlling and more dominant and so on. It doesn't happen in every relationship, but it is a common theme that I do see a lot. And so when we see those patterns, that creates that depolarization. And because you may have a family environment and houses and assets and so on, often people just kind of tolerate things. They tolerate the relationships, and over time there's a huge disconnect. But if you can understand and remember that those polarizing energies, when you actually revert to the opposite, it actually has a huge impact on you. Not because of what the other person's doing, but because you're not being true to who you are. You're not actually connecting with what's actually going to help you feel the greatest level of joy and happiness. You want to connect in with your own authenticity. You want to be lighthearted in nature, and most of all, you want to come from a place of love. When you connect in with love and truly understand what the other person is going through, then that opens the doorway for incredible things to happen. But the other thing that's really important is sometimes I see situations where men aren't really given the chance to be able to step up for their woman. Sometimes I see situations where a man wants to maybe lift the grocery bags, and the woman will go, no, I'll take it. Or he wants to get up and hang the picture frame up, and she's up there doing that. And I'm not totally all for women being able to kick ass and do really well in life. I think it's fantastic, and more power to you all as far as I'm concerned. But the fundamental basics of relationships still exist and will stand the test of time. There has to be those polarizing energies, otherwise there will be a massive disconnect. And men love it when a woman really connects in with her own femininity and is being lighthearted, being playful, being joyful, really feeling and empathizing and just bringing out that loving energy. It is a special, special thing. And I've seen it so many times before when there is a feminine woman who walks into a room, regardless of whatever age or anything like that, when she's exuding that beautiful femininity, men gravitate towards the energy to want to help, to want to protect, to want to provide, all of that sort of stuff. And you can do the same in your relationship as well. So I hope all this makes sense. I know it can be a little bit challenging to understand some of these things, but if you can really just start to make small steps in the right direction, it can make an ocean of difference. And the real question is how badly do you want to save your relationship? How badly do you want to save your marriage? How much do you truly want to feel free on the inside? If the answer is that it's the most important thing in my life and I want to do it, well, you've got to put the stuff into practice. It is so, so important and so critical to the success of your relationship in the future. So if you've liked this video, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And also in the comment section below, let me know some of the biggest challenges that you're facing in your relationship. I'd love to hear them, and I'd love to support you on that journey as well. So just make sure you write them below, and I promise I'll respond to every single one of you. And now that you've got a good understanding of some of the key traits that men find wildly attractive, what I'd encourage you to do now is understand the deeper shifts that you need to make within yourself emotionally. As you do that, then that can support you in this process. So I recommend checking this video out below, watch it in its entirety, and it'll really help you to create the shifts that you're looking for. Thank you so much. God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next video.